Hello everybody, this is Dr. Reyes-Fournier, and now we're at Unit 3 where we're talking about clinical screenings and intakes, even though our discussion is all about confidentiality, which is something that you're going to talk about during the intake and the screening process anyway. One of the things I wanted to focus on with everyone is that the clinical screening and intake process is also the time to do risk assessment, and we're going to be discussing that a little bit further right now. I'm going to be including this link so that you guys can go over the different assessments and the things that you could do during screening and intake, the do's and the don'ts, and actually it's all mostly do's, but the idea that you should be doing risk assessment every single time you see a client. One of the things that we need to remember that any client that shows up to treatment that is also diagnosed with depression, any form of psychosis, or a cluster B personality disorder is at a very high risk of hurting themselves. So risk assessment isn't just doing it during the intake and the screening process, it is doing it every single time you meet with your client. So what should you be asking about? How are you doing is really the best way of starting that conversation. How are you feeling? How was your weekend? You know, I know that you were feeling down about such and such. The idea is that we want to look at the possibility that a client might be contemplating or having suicidal ideations or even planning. We need to remember that 25% of clients do not tell their clinicians that they are feeling sad, that they're agitated, that they are having issues and struggling with the possibility of wanting to commit suicide. Also, the idea is that most newcomers to the counseling field don't usually ask the direct questions. In risk assessment, we ask directly. If you have any kind of concern that the client might be planning or thinking about committing suicide, you ask them directly. Do you have any plans? Do you have any ideations? Do you ever think about killing yourself? All of these questions must be asked directly. Also, we're looking at possibility of protective factors, having small children in the home, being religious, being connected just with their counselor like you, or something else, something bigger than themselves is very important. All right, so we will see each other tonight, and we'll continue this discussion of risk assessment and confidentiality and all that great stuff. Talk to you soon.